In a rare moment of transparency, Rob Kardashian, once one of reality television's most elusive and private figures, has opened up about his deeply personal life, shedding light on a side of him that has remained largely hidden from the public. For nearly a decade. Known for his quiet retreat from the spotlight in recent years, Rob has largely remained out of the public discourse while his famous siblings continue to dominate headlines. But in a surprising and heartfelt appearance on Khloé Kardashian's podcast Khloé in Wonderland, the 38-year-old father of one peeled back the curtain on his world, sharing honest reflections on fatherhood, his relationship status, and what love looks like after heartbreak. It's been 8 years since Rob and Blac Chyna, whose real name is Angela White, split in a highly publicized and chaotic breakup. At the center of that relationship is Dream Kardashian, the couple's now 8-year-old daughter, who Rob credits as the driving force behind his current perspective on life. During the podcast episode, Rob's tone was reflective but steady, his voice laced with maturity that comes only from having walked through fire and come out wiser on the other side. I've been single since she's 8 years old. I've been single for 8 years, Rob admitted during the candid conversation with Khloé. Of course I've dated and stuff, but I've never gotten serious or wanted to. My energy is just into Dream. His words were simple, but the sentiment behind them ran deep. For Rob, it wasn't just about being single, it was about intentional solitude, about putting his role as a father above the noise and complications of modern romance. What makes Rob's story compelling is not just his commitment to his daughter, but the way he's consciously structured his life around her well-being. In an era where co-parenting arrangements are often messy and complicated, Rob has made it clear, Dream comes first. Always, I don't bring girls in the house, he stated firmly. I don't have girls meet my daughter. But I've always been like that since she's been a baby. It's a boundary that speaks volumes. Despite living in a world that thrives on spectacle, Rob has made a conscious decision to keep certain things sacred. His home, his daughter's sense of stability, his private life, all of it remains untouched by the revolving door of temporary relationships. And in a family as notoriously public as the Kardashians, that's no small feat. Khloé, ever the protective sister, teased him about the realities of his social life. People think Rob might be a recluse, she joked, but let me tell you, Rob still gets around. It's wild. Her tone was playful, but underneath was a recognition of something true. Rob may have stepped out of the spotlight, but that doesn't mean he's been living in complete isolation. I just talk to people, Rob responded with a sheepish laugh. I'm good at talking to people. But even in his acknowledgement, there was hesitation, a deeper awareness of how fleeting and exhausting those connections can be. There's come moments where I can't talk to anybody. It's like too much energy. I'm talking to too many people. I don't want to be like that. For Rob, relationships have become a balancing act, a dance between maintaining his own emotional energy and preserving his role as a present, engaged father. That shift didn't happen overnight. In fact, it was forged through years of navigating heartbreak, public scrutiny, and the quiet, often painful process of self-reflection. Since his tumultuous breakup with Blac Chyna in 2017, Rob has remained mostly behind the scenes, retreating from the red carpets, the reality shows, and the relentless buzz of Hollywood. But what many don't see is that he hasn't been idle. He's been growing. And perhaps more importantly, he's been healing. Being a dad, it's definitely made me more grounded, Rob shared. Instead of focusing my energy on a lot of other things, I'm all about my daughter. That's just what it is. That's what you have to be. There was no fanfare in his voice. No dramatic proclamation. Just the simple, unwavering truth of a man who's figured out what truly matters to him, and that clarity has brought with it some unexpected revelations. For a long time, Rob envisioned a future filled with the chaotic joy of a big family. I always thought I'd have like 5 children, and this and that, he said with a wistful smile. But today, with 8 years of fatherhood under his belt, he sees things differently. I can't even imagine handling 5 children. The comment was lighthearted, but it hinted at a deeper truth, that parenting is not just about the fantasy of family, but the gritty, day-to-day responsibility of shaping a life. You gotta make sure this human becomes, not becomes, theirs. No pressure, but you have to focus on this other person's feelings, he said. And there's so much that goes into it. And it's clear that Rob has taken that responsibility to heart. Through the highs and lows, through the struggles with weight, self-worth, and mental health that he's openly battled in the past, his focus has never wavered. Dream is at the center of everything he does. It's definitely a lot, he admitted, but I love it. That love is evident, not just in his words, but in the life he's chosen to build around his daughter. Friends close to the Kardashian family have often described Rob as a devoted father, someone who may not post frequent photos or public declarations on social media, but who is consistently present in the quiet, everyday moments that truly matter. From school pickups to bedtime stories, from helping with homework to Saturday morning cartoons, Rob is there. Fully, consistently, and without seeking applause, for fans who followed Rob's journey from the early days of keeping up with the Kardashians, this recent glimpse into his life marks a profound evolution. Once the playful, charming younger brother overshadowed by his glamorous sisters, Rob has grown into a man defined not by fame or fashion, but by the quiet dignity of responsibility. Of course, there are still moments of levity. Rob hasn't lost his sense of humor, nor the close bond he shares with Khloé, who remains one of his fiercest advocates. Their sibling banter was on full display during the podcast, as Khloé lovingly nudged Rob to embrace life more fully, even suggesting that he deserves to find happiness in a new relationship, if and when the time is right. But Rob isn't rushing. Unless it happens, but it just hasn't happened, he said simply. For now, he's content. Not settling, but choosing peace over pressure, clarity over chaos. It's a refreshing perspective in a world obsessed with quick love, faster fame, and constant validation. Rob Kardashian may not be gracing the covers of magazines or walking red carpets, but he's doing something far more meaningful, showing up, day after day, for his daughter, and carving out a quiet, purposeful life in a world that rarely values silence, and in doing so, he's become a reminder that growth doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes, the most profound transformation happens in the quietest corners, in living rooms filled with laughter, in small acts of care, in late-night talks with your child about their dreams and fears. In choosing presence over performance, Rob Kardashian may not be where he thought he'd be 8 years ago. But where he is now, a single father grounded in love, resilience, and hard-won wisdom, is a place of real strength. And for those who've followed his journey, it's clear that his story is far from over. It's just getting started.